guys doing? I haven't been putting much up on my Southern Maryland Maniacs channel here recently. It takes up a lot of time doing one channel, the Southern Maryland Dirt Farmer, and to do the second channel it takes up at least twice the time. So, and I haven't had the time to do it, and I'm also running out of some material that I think you'd be interested in. But anyhow, I am out here in the building that I call my Hall of Shame. Got mostly pulling tractors, old pulling tractors in there. I've never gotten rid of any of my pulling tractors. Except I did get rid of that John Deere A that I had the turbo on. Of course, I took the turbo off. I really only pulled that a couple times, non-competition, just for fun. They didn't have any kind of class back then for it. I was 18 or 19 years old or something. But anyhow, enough looking at me. You don't want to look at me. Let's look around. This is some of my old pulling tractors here. This one over there, Poppin' Johnny 2. It was called Poppin' Johnny 2 because our 520 we always called Poppin' Johnny, and I kind of own this tractor, just a half interest in it, with some gentleman up the road named Covington. And Mr. Covington was here one day and saw I had Poppin' Johnny written on the hood of our 520, and he liked that and said I should put it on here too, so we call it Poppin' Johnny 2. And he always pulled really good for what it was. Right now it's got a broken crank in it. And I don't know when on earth I'll ever have time to fix it. Maybe someday. And after that I went to pulling the 4010, which I'm still pulling with that tractor. The rear of it is what I got in Spirited Deer Power. And let's see, maybe, well, the axles are on the Spirited Deer Power. The rear might be in what I call not the Delaware E-Threader. I don't know, I can't get close enough to see the knot. There you go, not the Delaware E-Threader, because it is not the Delaware E-Threader. It just looks exactly like one of the, well, the way it was in 1977. That is the original hood. I do have the original hood from it, but we just built the exact replica as close as we could, within reason, of Coleman Wheatley's old 4010, back when he was running that steel hood before he went to the aluminum hood. And then I got this 5020 Buckshot. Of course, it wasn't called Buckshot when I got it. Fixed that up to pull for, I think, 1 year on the track. It was called Genuine Junk. And had a T18A 95 turbo starting out. Then we went to, I did have a 93 on there with a, I don't know if it was a 4-1 wheel when I was done, or maybe I think it was, yeah. But anyway, that's got the homemade transmission and everything in it. Got gears out of the scrap pile from 905 truck transmissions, and came home and just sorted them out on the floor and found enough of them that I could double them up and weld them in there and made my gears to run. And of course, this is hazardous material, the 70 with the turbo on it. Yeah, I'm standing up on the tire of Buckshot now. I had all kinds of gauges and stuff on there, and they all actually did something. They all did actually do something. And the whole thing ran pretty good. Like I say, I never was really what you call a big name on the circuit. I was virtual nobody actually, but I had some fun. I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of pro stock classes. This was a pro stock. Didn't have a whole lot of pro stock classes back then on the big circuit in the East Coast. So I was just running a super stock class, and I would get in the top 5 in the super stock class, running with them, running with guys that run the national circuit. So I mean, I thought I was doing pretty good, having fun for running junk. You know, old Mack truck injection pump and Mack injectors and you know, homemade water injection and you know, just stuff I threw together. Bought the engine for $100. It was sitting behind a dealer over on the Eastern Shore, Chestertown, and I think it's the same place I got the hood for it. Yeah, the hood was off of 75, no, 75, 20, 70, 20, 70, 20. Yep. And anyway, and this is a 720 I built my dad. Let me climb down from here. This actually was a 70, but I already had a 70. I was pulling hazardous material, and I wanted to build something I could pull with my dad. Well, he had been pulling an unstyled G that we built for him that was running pretty good, but then we put this together, and dogs think they're going to find a mouse or something. But anyway, we put this together. We stroked it, I think it's 8 1/4 inch stroke, and it would run good. We turned about 2,250 RPMs with it, and had good power, and usually would beat hazardous material, the turbo 70. But anyhow, this was a 70, and we had some parts from a 730 in it, so I just split the difference and called it a 720. I like the looks of a 720 anyhow. I wish you could have seen this nose cone before I worked on it. You can't really see anything in there. It looked like somebody had run over it with a bulldozer. But we hammered it out straight, and it didn't come out too darn bad. And but anyway, this was some good times of pulling. And then son Matthew, he built this 1010 puller to run in the, I don't know, 3,000, 3,500 pound class. I think he could get it. Yeah, he could get it in the 3. Yeah, that was it. 3,000 and 3,500. Yeah, and had a 2010 diesel block and crank in it, and pistons with a gas head and a turbo and 4-barrel carburetor, and called it Rusty but Trusty. Yep. And he was having a good time with it. Yep. And this one over here was when my sons were getting of age to pull. Well, when they were 9 and 8 or something like that. 9-year-old son David bought this John Deere M. His uncle bought it from his uncle, and for $50, I think. And we decided we would stretch out the engine as much as we could. Bored and stroked it. I think it's 98 cubic inches stock. We had 234 cubic inches. I had machined out the block on my milling machine. Just cut the cylinders right out of it and machined it, and put sleeves from an 8630 John Deere. I machined them down to smaller, the outside diameter, from a 619 John Deere diesel engine and put in there, which is 5 1/8 inch bore. And we found some, the guy had a couple of airplane pistons he gave us. With the right bore, we put them in there and made some rods, and we stroked the crank, did a heck of a lot of welding on that crank, and then stroked it. I think it had a, I don't know, 5 1/2, 5 3/4 inch stroke, something like that. From, what is it stock, 4 inches? I can't remember now, but yeah. And it sounded like a John Deere G when it was idling, and it run good. Pulled real good, got on a hard track one time, and it was making plenty of power, and ended up breaking the crank. It wasn't a catastrophic breakage, it just kind of broke it, and we could tell something was wrong. But like I say, it didn't destroy anything. It didn't really hurt anything much. But we kind of ended its career right then. We were ready to move on to other things. We had pulled it a couple of years though. So, in my son David, we built this 1010, and it run the 35. I think you can run 3,500 pound to like 4,500 pound class with it. And turned the tires pretty good. It's a turbo diesel, and my son with the gas one, I mean, he has beaten this tractor. They would pull against each other in the 35. Matthew would weight that up for the 35, and he usually get beat, but I mean, there was a couple pulls where he squeaked past him, and but usually this thing runs really well, and goes on up the track. And this was a Delaware E-Reader, I don't know, not the Delaware E-Reader, the replica. But this is a one of the original Gladhill pump drives that Morris Gladhill himself would machine out and make up. And the drive gears were from a John Deere snowmobile. I don't know if it was the flywheel and ring gear. I'm not sure. I thought that's maybe what it was. Anyhow, they were about the right size, and that's what's welded one of them to the cam gear, and the other will go on the hub of the injection pump. It's a Mac pump, and drive that. And this is obviously needing some mechanical attention. I don't know, I've never had as much trouble with any of my pulling tractors as I've had with the engine in this one. I do not know. Had a gremlin in there somewhere. Usually everything I put together runs pretty good without any issues, but this one had some troubles. But I got to get some time and get it back together. I would like to run it. It was fun to run. I just thought I'd give you a little quick tour of some of my junk in here in the Hall of Shame, and got some others elsewhere, but maybe I'll show you a little bit. And I do have videos about all these tractors on one channel or the other, either the Southern Maryland Maniacs or Southern Maryland Dirt Farmer channel. So if you're disgusted with me for not going into some more technical detail on any of them, look back some of my old videos, search and find the videos about them, and it'll go into it there. Of course, we have here the prize of the whole pulling tractor collection, Deere Power 1, but you've seen that plenty of times, I'm sure. I came in here to look at this old G. This was the one I built for Dad to pull. I don't know if we can get enough junk out the way to look at it or not. Made them round spoke rims. Looks factory, but actually just widened out some 36-inch. They were off of like a Farmall F20 or something. Those rims and kind of widened them out, made them 38-inch rims for 1838s. Of course, these are only 1538s on there right now. I wanted to show you the G. This here's the manifold on this G. It's an unusual manifold that I found to put on there, and this G was only stroke 7 3/4. And I don't know if any of you fellows can identify this manifold or not, but I'm showing you somewhat of it. See if you can identify it. It was modified slightly to put on there, but anyhow, still running a long block in there, and in order to get enough compression with just that 7 3/4 stroke, I made a stepped head. It had a flat head on it, and we bolted chunks of aluminum on there, machined out. I don't know, it was about 1 inch thick, and machined some cast iron valve seat inserts to put in there, and made me a stepped head, and it ran pretty good for what it was. Like I say, just fun. But the 720 I built for Dad was really something. So anyway, that's the tour for this episode. I never did a story on this one. Maybe I'll do a video on this one. It's nothing special, no, but still a neat tractor. And I got to get this thing into a shop and start working on it, because Sonny Owens and Dave Stockett's original pulling tractor that I watched them put together when I was 12 in a shop about 4 miles down the road from here, 3 or 4. And I remember walking in there with Dad and seeing that thing, because they were building it. Childhood memories. Alright, we'll walk in here and I'll just show you the spirit of Deer Power. I know you've seen it. And nothing is anything special. Nothing I got is anything special, other than it was well performing, low budget stuff. I won't use the term junk, although it's the term that comes to mind. But I just like taking regular stuff and modifying it and doing whatever I can myself without spending any money or buying a bunch of stuff, and go out and have fun. That's what I do. To me, it wouldn't be fun if you spent a lot of money. But anyway, if you like what you see, give a thumbs up and subscribe and leave a comment. If you are frustrated because I didn't tell you or show you anything of real technical interest, like I say, there's videos on my channel about most of these tractors already. You could take a look at it, search it, find it. It's interesting stuff. Anyhow, I'll try to get some more stuff up on this channel. I'm sorry it's been a dry spell, but anyhow, try to get something up that's really interesting here soon. Thank you for watching. Catch you later. See you. I'm going to build another pulling tractor. Got the rear right here. I'm going to build it on. Let's see. I know it looks kind of puny. It's going to be a little one. That's about all I can say right now.